Hello, this is a demo of that I did of the mini one, electrophoresis, restriction, digestion, basics mini lab for some of my online students. And I'm going to go through the setup, casting, pouring, loading, and running of the gel. And the gel comes in these little cups, and everything comes in the kit. The gel cup gets microwaved to cast it. So I didn't show the microwaving part of it, but it's going to go to the microwave, and then you have to let it cool for like 15 seconds, not very long at all. And then it's poured. The dye is already in the gel, and you have to let that solidify for about 15 minutes. Or maybe even less, like 10 minutes. And that's like the most time consuming part of it. And then you could set up the rest of it while you're waiting. This is a 20 times buffer concentrate. So I think I have like 190 mils of distilled water. And then I'm going to fill it up to 200 to get the right dilution. And I just using the centrifuge because I have it to spin any liquid that's in the caps. You don't need a centrifuge, you could just tap it down, but since I have it, I figured I'd put it into the demo. That's way longer than you need to. I think it says 30 seconds, but you don't really need that long, or you don't really need to do that part at all, but it helps save some of your sample if you're trying to squeeze more runs out of it. There's 5 samples in this kit, so I just did that twice. And then it has you pipettes. It's supposed to be 10, but it says to give the students 12, so I had that 12 number in my head. Here I'm going to gently pull out the comb. So you don't want to pull it out too fast. You kind of just want to wiggle it out just to make sure that you don't break any of the wells. And then that whole plastic part will go directly into the apparatus here. And then I'm going to pour the buffer in. You should pour it on one side so it kind of tries to you can get most of the air bubbles out from underneath it. That's not a big deal. It just makes it more difficult to see. But with these lights, it's a lot easier to see. So I'm going to use, in the first lane, I'm going to put this universal marker. And on the last picture, you can see what the sizes of the marker is going to be. I only have 5 samples, so I'm going to skip the first well. It doesn't matter which one you skip, but and then I'm going to slowly try to load them so they go in there. I did them all pretty slow. I might have sped this up, using a separate pipette for each one. And then into the next lane is going to go the undigested DNA. And then the next one is going to be the Eco R5 enzyme digested DNA. I should have sped this part up, but I didn't want to make it look like I was going too fast. As it was, I had a little bit of a mishap there, but that's not going to affect anything. This just might not be as bright. And then this was the NCO1. I must have cut that part out. That's the NCO1 enzyme digested DNA. And then the last one is a double digest of the 2 enzymes, EcoR5 and NCO1 double digested DNA sample. And that is going to go into the last lane. And then you put the hood on, turn it on, and it's good to go. This is a time lapse over about 30 minutes. So what's cool is you can actually see the DNA running through the gel in real time, but it's not going this fast. So, but it is pretty amazing that you can, with the dye in the gel like that, and a short run, you can see the DNA separating in real time. It's just not this fast because this is just a time lapse. And then the last picture you'll see here is one that has the size ladder on it for your analysis. I hope that was helpful.